What's going on, guys? Welcome to the channel. It is the 57th ever live chat. I do these every single Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern time. There's a lot to talk about. There's been a lot of fight announcements. There's a amazing fight night card coming up this weekend. And I use the word amazing loosely because I'm kidding. We got Holly Holm versus Ketlin Vieira this Saturday, UFC Vegas 55, I believe. It's a terrible card. I have a prediction out for the main event. Recently, Gregor Gillespie, there were some rumors that he had been cut, but he had just been removed from the rankings. Then he put out a statement saying people are turning him down, that he needs fights, and he only wants to fight people ahead of him in the rankings. We're going to talk about Gregor Gillespie. We're also going to talk about a potential Leon Edwards title shot. Making a dedicated video on this, but I just throw these titles together because I know we'll discuss some of these things, and then sometimes I'll tweak the title of the live chat afterwards based on what we discuss within the live stream. So as always, guys, thank you so much for joining me. If you have not already, do me a favor and like the stream. You guys like the stream, help push it out to more people, and therefore we end up growing the channel some more, so I would greatly appreciate it. It is currently May 18th, 2022. We are at 3,286 subscribers, which last Tuesday is when we hit 3,000 subscribers. So in about 8 days, we've gained 286 subscribers, which is very good. So I appreciate you guys watching the videos. I think I'm going to probably do a stream on Friday for Eagle FC. I really do like Junior Dos Santos, so I'm probably going to watch, and he should be able to defeat Yorgan De Castro. So I'll probably be watching it anyway, so why not stream it if I can. Okay, as always, guys, fill the chat with questions, and I will answer your questions in the chat. Let's see what we got here. What's up, Big Fan? What's up, Logan? Where does this leave Gillespie's career, in your opinion? I think Gregor Gillespie's career is on life support. Because let me pull him up real quick. Gregor Gillespie. Let's pull him up real quick. And then let's pull up the UFC rankings. Because Gregor Gillespie thinks way too highly of himself. Let me tell you that right now. For a guy that's super inactive, okay? He was ranked, I think, number 9. I believe he was ranked number 9 in the UFC rankings. You look at his resume. Gregor Gillespie has literally beaten no one outside of Carlos Diego Ferreira. Literally nobody. One fight ago, he got brutally KO'd by Kevin Lee. And when I say one fight ago, I'm talking about November of 2019. He's fought once since November of 2019. So, it's, November of this year. I know that's a little bit ways away. We're coming up on 3 years, and he's only had one fight since that loss. The guy's super inactive. He was begging for a Tony Ferguson fight forever, which I think is honestly disgraceful because he just knows that Tony Ferguson is a terrible matchup for him, or he knows he's a terrible matchup for Tony Ferguson. Gregor Gillespie's one loss away from a cut, in my opinion, because you look at him, he's turning down fights with Khabib, he's turning down fights with Sarukian, he's turning down fights with Gamrot. I only want to fight people ahead of me. Do you know what a win would have done for him against any of those guys, Rafael Khabib, Sarukian, or Gamrot? Those fights, even though they were fighters that were behind him in the rankings, would have done very good for him because all those guys have a lot of hype behind them. Gregor Gillespie got a decision win over Carlos Diego Ferreira. Or no, he TKO'd him in the second round. I forgot. And he was losing the first round. I remember that fight. But for some reason, I thought it was a decision. And that's his best win. And I respect Carlos Diego Ferreira. I actually picked Diego Ferreira to win that fight. But, dude, stop acting like you're on a... He's acting like he's owed what someone with a 10 or 15 fight win streak is owed, to be quite honest. And he's not. That's not... he's not owed anything. He has not done anything yet. The guy should have took a fight with Gamrot. He should have took a fight with Sarukian. But he didn't. And now he's in a bad spot. He's removed from the rankings. He may never recover that spot. I'm telling you that right now. He may never recover the spot that he lost by being inactive. You know, and I get it. You know, we have this issue, and I've always wanted to make a video about the rankings themselves, about how sometimes I feel like they do more harm than they're worth because too many guys are saying, well, I'm not fighting that guy. He's 2 numbers behind me. And it's made by a bunch of nobodies who are voting on the rankings. But you can't, that's not how you can. That's not the mindset you can have. Do you know what how much elevated Gilbert Burns would have been with a win over Khamzat Chimaev? It would have been huge for him. So Gregor Gillespie is making mistakes at every turn. You know, because you look at ahead of him right now. I don't want to go too much into Gregor Gillespie, but you look at ahead of him. Let's say ahead of him in the rankings. He was number 9, I believe. So you got Tony Ferguson. He's not getting that fight. Tony Ferguson's not taking that fight. Conor McGregor, there's no way Gregor Gillespie, he's taking the Gregor Gillespie fight. Dos Anjos has a fight with Rafael Fiziev. Look at RDA. RDA is a straight up badass. He's a former champion. And look, he's taken fights with a guy who's ranked, 3-4 spots behind him, okay? Then you get Beneil Dariush. Beneil Dariush had a fight with Islam. Beneil Dariush could potentially be in a number 1 contender fight in his next fight. He's not fighting Gregor Gillespie. I highly doubt it. Michael Chandler coming off the big win over Tony Ferguson. He's not taking that fight. He's probably going to fight Conor or a potential Gaethje rematch or a potential Dustin Poirier fight for Michael Chandler next. Islam Makhachev, he's fighting Oliveira next for the belt, in my opinion. And then you have Justin Gaethje. Justin Gaethje could be a guy that's like taking on Beneil Dariush or something along those lines. Or Justin Gaethje could be fighting Dustin Poirier for a second time. He's not getting any of those names. He's not getting anyone. So now, who's he going to fight? Brad Riddell, I think, has a fight already against Jalen Turner. What's he going to call out? Dan Hooker sitting at number 13, coming off a brutal beatdown from Arnold Allen. I don't know where Gregor Gillespie thinks he is. I think best case scenario, he should have took a fight with Gamrot or Sarukian. I think, whether it's his decision or his manager's decision, I don't think it's a very smart decision because he would absorb some hype from it. He would have been elevated off of it, and it would have done his career some good to get a win over some of these guys. Fiziev has a lot of hype. I've said that I think Fiziev could be a future champion. He's definitely going to be a future title contender. Sarukian, same thing. I think he's going to be a future champion, bare minimum a future title contender. Gamrot's kind of in that same category. You have to fight some of these guys. The division is stacked. You have to take some of these fights. And to not take them is career suicide. And I get it. People can say, oh, well, maybe you didn't want to fight them because they're lower ranked. It doesn't matter the reasoning. Now people look at you, you're ducking these guys. These guys are now going to have their fights. They're going to be elevated in the rankings. And then you're going to be disappointed, essentially, that now you didn't fight them. Or all of a sudden, are you going to want to fight them because they're higher ranked now? So to answer your question, Gregor Gillespie, terrible career decisions. What's up, French fries? Hope you're doing well. Who do you got in these matchups? Fiziev versus Poirier and Fiziev versus Gaethje. Those are tough matchups to pick. I have been very high on Fiziev for a long while. I've been high on him since before he even beat Renato Moicano. I would probably pick Fiziev in those matchups. To be quite honest, I'd probably pick Fiziev. He's super technical. He has just great striking. He has power in all his limbs. He has great leg kicks. I think he could just as easily lose both those fights. But right now, I would tentatively pick Rafael Fiziev. That's how high I am on Rafael Fiziev. Did you see what I posted in the Discord about UFC Paris? I did, but just as we got on here. Yes, I did. We need a video. Yeah, Gane versus Tai, Whitaker versus Vettori, Topuria versus Barboza. Yeah, I'll probably have to make a video on that. I have a couple video ideas in the bank right now. Which fighter do you want to lose the most? Mine got to be Jones. Who do I want to lose the most? I don't know if I'm sitting back and really wishing anybody to lose. I'm trying to think. Who would I want to see lose the most? Off the top of my head, I can't think of anyone. I really can't. I know some people would probably say, answer for me and say Sean O'Malley. I don't even necessarily dislike Sean O'Malley. I dislike his cult-like following. So I guess just to troll them, maybe him, but not even him. Jeremy Stevens. That is the answer. Jeremy Stevens is the answer. Jeremy Stevens. I didn't like the way he handled the Drakkar Close thing. So there you go. Who should the winner of Simon Shore fight after, and who do you have in that matchup? That is a very compelling matchup. Jack Shore versus Ricky Simon or Simone. I can't remember how to pronounce his name. I always botch it. Is a very compelling matchup. Jack Shore has already fought stiffer competition than Sean O'Malley, in my opinion. Timur Valiev is far superior to anybody Sean O'Malley has fought yet. Speaking of the bantamweight division, I'm just looking at the division right now, and O'Malley's sandwiched in between Shore and Simon. I favor Jack Shore. I think he's a little bit crisper on the feet. I think the grappling probably cancels each other out, but I think either guy can win. Who do they fight next? It all depends. It all depends. The division could be in a totally different place at that point in time. So I'm not really confident in who it would be. There's fun matchups. I wouldn't mind seeing him against Song Yudong. The winner of that fight Song Yudong. Or even the winner of that fight fighting the winner of O'Malley Munoz would be a lot of fun as well. So there's a couple options. That is a very compelling fight. Ricky Simon is a great fighter. He's improved over the years. Jack Shore, everybody's high on Jack Shore. The fight with Timur Valiev was a really solid fight. Both guys, very high-level talent. And the bantamweight division is just so stacked. So I hope I answered your question. But I favor Shore in that fight. Any chance the UFC picks up any good, tough coaches in the future? Or is it Rose Carlo in the next show? Stop it. If it's Rose Carlo on the next show, I'm going to have absolute conniption. No, absolutely not. I do not want to see that. Hopefully they pick good coaches, but I highly doubt it because good coaches means they got to pay them money, and that's not going to happen. Percent chance that Leon wins. I'll say 40%. Do you think the UFC will book Vettori and Whitaker on the Paris cards since it's a fight night? I don't know. French fries, was that official or is that just rumored right now? Because now that I think about it, it's a fight night. I think it's possible. I think it's very possible, but I don't know. The reason I say it's possible is because when usually they make a debut at a certain location, they stack it. And so I could see them stacking it. Patiently waiting for a Hasbullah emoji. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. I will keep that in mind. Gillespie almost always exclusively calls out easy guys like Pettis or Ferguson. Yeah, he's trying to call out guys that he thinks will be favorable matchups for him. And it's honestly embarrassing. I don't doubt that he would try to fight Dan. Yeah, he probably would. Cherry picking matchups, agree. Who do you have in Riddell versus Turner? I think it's an interesting matchup. Early prediction, Jalen Turner. But I think he could get potentially out-grappled. But I'm high on Turner. I'll go Jalen Turner. I think Riddell's a little bit behind in the striking department. So that's a very compelling matchup as well. There's been nothing but great matchups coming out of the UFC right now. Do you think Gregor should go down to featherweight or bantamweight? He looks really small for lightweight. I don't think he can. I really don't think he can. I don't think he looks too small. Did you hear Bobby Green and his coach saying they saw Fiziev and Piotr buying roids in Thailand? Yeah, who knows if that's true or not. But that is crazy, but I did not hear it. Early prediction for Barboza versus Ilya. Is that at featherweight or lightweight? If it's at featherweight, I'm going Topuria. If it's at lightweight, I might go Barboza. Nick Maximoff Lamau, we were all glad he lost last week. Yes, that is a good one. I wanted Maximoff to lose after his shit performance in his last fight. You know, that fight he had against, was it Soriana or something like that? There was his last fight, Maximoff's last fight. He looked like straight up garbage. Absolute garbage. And people were hyping him up because he trains with the Diaz brothers. I thought he lost his last fight. I was happy to see him get submitted by Andre Petroski. And on top of that, I was happy because I picked Petroski, and Petroski was a massive underdog. So that's a good remembering that one. French fries. I thought Shore's last fight could have been a draw at UFC London, 28-28. Now, I had it for Shore. I don't remember which rounds I scored it for, but I thought Shore had clearly won. But I only seen it that one time. What's up, Sinister? As always, thank you for being a part of the stream. Who the F is that guy? Jeremy Stevens. Yeah. Timur Valiev, I think it was. It's targeted for that card, but no, it's not official. Okay. Next coaches are Team Tony versus Khabib. That would be amazing. That's Tony's been talking about it online. Khabib said he would do it. I think that would get me to watch the show. Let me put it that way. I'm a starch. I'm never watching The Ultimate Fighter again. That would get me to watch the show. What's up, Leo? Hope you're doing well. Can't believe the amount of people picking Bontarine over Cop. Manuel will smash him to pieces and ragdoll him. When is that fight? When is that fight, my friend? Is that this? That's not this weekend, is it? If it was, I wish I would have known. I would have done a prediction on that, maybe. Is that this weekend? Or is that next weekend? Okay, it's not this weekend. It is not this weekend. Bontarine is a tough guy as well. I don't know who I would pick in that fight just yet. Do you think Edwards versus Chimaev for the interim title could be a pay-per-view main event? Yes. And actually, Antoine, I'm thinking about making a dedicated video on that. What do you guys think? I was thinking about making a video about Khamzat Chimaev versus Leon Edwards for the interim title. Do you guys think I should make that dedicated video? I think it'll do well. I've talked about it a little bit in the past, and I'm trying not to be too repetitive. But that is a video I was actually talking about in the members-only Discord yesterday. And I'm thinking about making a dedicated video. I could make it probably after this stream. Or bare minimum, I would make it tonight. So, let me know if that's something you guys are interested in. Discussing the possibility of Edwards versus Chimaev for the interim title. And whether or not it would be in a main event. And basically, my early prediction on that fight. So, let me know in the chat and I'll listen to you guys. I rewatched Volk versus Zombie earlier. I think Volk beats Oliveira. He is too good at striking. Oliveira's hittable. Fair enough. But Zombie is not the same as Oliveira, in my opinion. What happened to Manuel's drug test? I don't know. I have to look into that myself, Leo. I'm not sure. If anybody else in the chat knows, answer him for me. It's on UFC 275. Joey, still don't know how they're letting him back so fast after a drug test thing. Yeah, I got to look into that. I haven't seen any information about that. Definitely make the video. Okay. I wouldn't hate the video, but I sure hope the UFC doesn't make any more interim titles. Yeah, I'm actually thinking about making 2 videos. That's the 2 videos I have in the bank right now, is like videos I want to do. Leon Edwards, Khamzat Chimaev might finally happen, and it might be for a title. And a video about interim titles in general. But I would like to make those 2 separate videos because I feel like they're worthy of 2 separate videos. But sometimes I talk about stuff in stream, and then sometimes I lightly touch on things in other videos, and then sometimes I don't want to feel like I'm repeating stuff to you guys, but sometimes I just think like that video would do very well, and I think it's a relevant video, and I would want it to be out in case it happens. So I'll probably make both those videos, honestly, especially since it seems you guys are interested. Let me actually do a poll. Let me do a poll real quick. Guys, there's almost 30 people in this stream, and there's only 9 likes. I need you guys to run up the likes right now. I need you guys to run up the likes. Okay. Should I make a Khamzat versus Leon video? Interim title video. Let's see what you guys think, because I'm just doing with you what you guys like. Volk is invincible. He sure seems it. Should Ankalaev versus Smith winner fight Jan if Glover or Yuri take a longer break? I will say yes. I will say yes. And then that way, the winner of that fight would fight the winner of Glover Yuri. Volk has ever lost 2 rounds in the UFC career, and they both to Max, another top 10 pound-for-pound fighter. Usman was out there losing rounds to Masvidal. I don't believe Usman lost any rounds to Masvidal. Did you like Doctor Strange? I barely saw it. So, for any Marvel fans out there, cover your ears real quick. I had fun watching it. I enjoy going to the movies. I enjoy watching movies in Dolby. But for me, the superhero movies have just become too redundant, too cheesy, too trying to be novelty, if that makes sense. So, you know, it is what it is. You've seen one, you've seen them all. I had fun seeing it in Dolby, but it's not something that got me super excited, or it's not something that I'm dying to see again. It would be super ironic seeing how Leon Hamzat got rescheduled 3 times already, and now it's for a belt. Yes, and I've touched on that in many videos and many streams. Many videos and many streams I've touched on that. And that's why I kind of was hesitant to make the video. But I think I'll make it. I think Volk will do good on lightweight, considering that he has a welterweight at some point. Maybe so. Got to give credit to Andre Filio. Dude's been so active, just booking fight after fight and raking in the money. I respect Andre Filio. The guy's a savage. Absolute savage. Joey, what's your fate on 276? Mine is the trilogy. I would tend to agree with you. Let me just look it up, just so I'm not forgetting anything. I definitely like the trilogy over Adesanya versus Cannonier. Yeah. 100% the trilogy is more entertaining for me than anything else. I think Adesanya versus Cannonier is not super competitive. So, there you go. There's my answer. Yeah, he did. Masvidal won round 1 in both fights. They were very close, though. According to who? He got 50-45 in the first fight. I don't know about the second fight, but he got 50-45 in the first fight. If Junior Dos Santos wins, he'll fight Fedor Emelianenko next. What do you think of the matchup? Fedor fights in Bellator. JDS fights in Eagle FC now. So I don't know if they're going to come together on that or what. So I'm a little bit confused. But maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. We'll see. I don't know. Maybe you've heard something that I have not seen just yet. Any chance Henry Cejudo gets the bantamweight title fight over Dillashaw? I think he said he's cleared by USADA in November or something. I think it's very possible. But the UFC might not do it just because out of spite of Henry Cejudo. The guy retired as a negotiating tactic. And the UFC definitely ain't happy about that. So I could see him getting it because he has a win over TJ, and they could say, oh, well, he's the former champion. I just find it awfully funny. The second Aljamain Sterling became the champion, Henry Cejudo was ready to come back. And I'm not talking about this time. I'm talking about when Aljamain won off DQ. Henry Cejudo was ready to come back. It's actually disappointing. I want to see Cejudo have to earn the title. If it was up to me, you do Aljamain Sterling versus Piotr Jan 3, and then you book TJ Dillashaw versus Henry Cejudo rematch at bantamweight, which was supposed to happen before TJ Dillashaw got busted, and then the winner of that fight fights the winner of Jan Aljo 3. Would be my personal opinion. For UFC 276, I want to see Strickland versus Pereira. I'm really intrigued in that fight as well. Scott Coker and Khabib are planning to do a crossover. It wouldn't surprise me, so okay, I probably missed that. 276 press conference is going to be all-time classic. Imagine O'Malley and Strickland on the same stage talking smack. The UFC will probably let us down and not have them there. It wouldn't surprise me if the UFC just lets us down. We'll see. Judges didn't give it to him, but strikes were 26-16. Masvidal in the round. Usman did nothing with the control time. I thought Jorge won. Fair enough. I don't remember the second fight, but the first fight, I remember thinking Usman clearly won the first fight, the first round of the first fight. But fair enough. I don't remember exclusively exactly what was going on there. Joey, do you see Cain making a comeback after his issues? No. He'll probably be in jail a while. He was already retired. So the answer is no. Unfortunately, I do not think he makes a comeback. I think our time seeing Cain Velasquez is done for. My guess is he's at least going to be in jail for 10 or 15 years. You know, at the end of the day, we have to understand. We can sympathize with him. But at the end of the day, what he did, he should have been more careful. And I would have had more sympathy. He could have took someone's children away from them. You can't just randomly shoot on the highway. You know, and I'm sympathetic to him. I don't want him to go to jail for a long time. For sure. I don't want him. I understand that the emotions were running high because of what had happened to him. But at the same time, he could have killed someone else's children. You know, he shot the wrong guy. He could have shot me. He could have accidentally shot me, for all we know. Then the channels ended. So it sucks. I've said before I would like to see him just get a smaller punishment, and then, you know, because I get it, I feel like there was extenuating circumstances. But at the same time, it's like, geez Louise. But I don't think he'll ever make an MMA return. He was retired already. He was getting brutally KO'd by Ngannou. Injuries, and you know what I mean. About to take a nap. Do you think there will be a late night stream? Also, do you have a letter grade for the pay-per-view of 276? I do not have a letter grade for pay-per-view. I told you probably before, maybe like a B-. I usually do those 2 to 3 weeks before the events because the events change so rapidly. So I don't want to do it now and then the event change rapidly between now and then. But right now, as it stands, roughly a B-. Is Alex Pereira going to be at that press conference? I hope so. O'Malley and Pedro is going to be a great fight to watch considering how they both fight. I agree. What's up, Joey? Who's next for Wonderboy? I wouldn't mind seeing a Robbie Lawler fight, but Robbie Lawler already has a fight with Brian Barberino. He's not taking a Sean Brady fight. He's not taking a Bilal. Oh, he already fought Bilal Muhammad. I don't know what's next for Wonderboy. I don't know. To be honest, I don't know. Jorge won the exchanges in the first one, depending on how you score control. Fair enough. Free Cain. Okay. You know what he did to his... Yeah, but he didn't shoot the guy that did that to his kid. He shot somebody else. So... It's a tricky situation. He shot someone else based off emotion. But, you know, at the same time, I have sympathy for him. I don't want to see him go to jail for life. But when you're that reckless, you know, it's just a bad situation all the way around. Because, you know, now you have someone who maybe supposedly wasn't even involved in this. He's been shot. His life's probably been changed. You have a kid that now has not only been abused, he now has lost his father for at least a substantial period of time. You have a wife that's lost her husband for a substantial period of time. And it's just an overall terrible situation, in my opinion. Tony going after Cormier is embarrassing. What do you think? Yeah, I think Cormier embarrassed himself. Everything that I saw Tony say was facts. Cormier clearly held the towel at the weigh-ins. You know, but I get it. Tony, it's a bad look, you know, considering he's coming off a loss. So I don't think it's necessarily a good look for anyone, but I think Cormier looked dumb responding because Tony Ferguson spoke facts to him and called him out for stuff that a lot of media has brushed over, in my opinion. Who do you got, Yuri or Glover? I've been kind of considering Glover's chances, in my opinion. He might beat Yuri, then Yan gets his belt back. I think it's a 50-50 fight. Right now, I tentatively lean Glover, but I've switched back and forth like 18 times already. If Glover does get his belt back, I don't think Yan gets his belt back, but it's very possible. It's very possible. Yan is the king of a career resurgence. Wonderboy can fight Michael Chiesa. I doubt he takes that fight too. I don't think Wonderboy wants a fight against a primarily grappler. So I don't know. He should move up. I think he should maybe move up. Maybe do Wonderboy versus Darren Till at middleweight. Wonderboy versus Darren Till 2 at middleweight. There's an idea for you. If Cain had one last fight and if I was to see him in one last fight, I would want to see him against Stipe. Yeah, but I don't know what kind of shape he's in. You know? Would you prefer Tony fighting Hooker or Nate? Definitely Ferguson versus Nate. Makes the most sense. But Hooker makes some sense too. Thoughts on a possible, I don't know what the question is there. If Charles choke out Islam and calls Khabib in the corner, do you think he gets him to come back? I think that's the greatest lightweight title fight of all time. No. I do not think he gets Khabib to come back. Maybe if he knocks Islam out and then follows up with the most brutal ground and pound shots ever, while the referee rushes over to pull him off. And then he calls him out and says, I would do the same thing to you, Khabib. Maybe. But I would say less than a 15% chance of Khabib coming out of retirement regardless of what happens. But if anything's going to get him back, it's going to be Islam winning. Man, who was hanging out with a Como got shot? How terrible. I don't know what we're saying there. Chokes out Islam. I picked up what you were saying. Wonder Boy can fight Kevin Holland. That makes a lot of sense. That's a good idea, French fries. I think we talked about that before. Rakic injured his bad for his career. He didn't fight very well. I know, and he's had injuries before. Wonder Boy versus Alex Pereira after the Strickland fight, or Holland. That'd be fun too, but he's not fighting Alex Pereira. No, Wonder Boy versus Brady. I think that makes a lot of sense. Wonder Boy ain't taking that fight. Who would you like RDA to fight next? My last message is sent prematurely. My bad. RDA is already fighting Rafael Fiziev in July, I believe it is. So we already have Rafael Dos Anjos' next fight. It's going to be very interesting. Now we've had this fight. This is the third time. Rafael Dos Anjos versus Rafael Fiziev has been booked. It was booked for a fight night. It was moved because of visa issues with Fiziev. Then it was booked for UFC 272 as the co-main event. And then what happened there? I think Fiziev got sick and pulled out. Now it's booked for a third time. So hopefully it goes through this time. Yuri's knockout power is crazy. I don't know if old man Glover will be able to take that many strikes. Yeah, I mean, but Glover's been hurt a lot, and he somehow recovers. I mean, the guy can recover. I like Fiziev's chances against RDA in July. If he wins, what's next for him? It could be a title contender eliminator. Title eliminator after that. Let's say Fiziev beats RDA. I want to see him fight someone in the top 5, and that could be a number 1 contender fight. Rafael Fiziev, if he gets by RDA, I think he could be 1, max 2 fights away from a potential title shot. A man who was hanging out with a child got shot. How awful, Joey. Yeah, but we don't know all the situation. He could have not even known of that, you know? He could have not even known that he was that, you know? Or it could have been, you know, a family member taking him somewhere. I don't know all the situations, but I'm just saying we can't always say guilty by association. I don't think we can do that, you know? Who's to know? One of your friends, you know, one of the people you hang out with could be a thief or something like that. And next thing you know, the cops come showing up to your door and raid your house. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things you could not even know. And so either way, that's besides the point. My point is, as much as what he did could have hurt other people outside of the group that he was with. And I get that it didn't happen, but it could have happened. I'm a person who just thinks of what if somebody else what if a kid would have got shot that had nothing to do with the scenario. Stray bullet hits him and he dies. You know, you can't go around being that reckless and face zero consequence. Okay? And I don't want you to take this as I'm defending the guy who, you know, if Cain Velasquez went to this guy's house, the guy who did the stuff to his kid, and let's say he got him right there. You wouldn't hear me, not one complaint from me. My fact is that he did it recklessly and other people could have been harmed. And that level of instability deserves to be, you know, again, I'm not campaigning for him to be put away for life. But I still don't agree with the fact that you could have killed somebody else, you know? So there you go. I would like to see Kevin Holland versus Ian Gary battle of the Big Mouse. That'd be fun. What's up? What's up? Keep out. Hope you're doing well. Bigger threat to Shevchenko, Talia Santos, or Tatiana Suarez? I'll say Suarez. Who does Sedner Magomedov fight next in your opinion? Ranked opponent or no? I'd like to see him fight a ranked opponent. But I don't know who he's going to fight. They're going to book him against Frankie Edgar? I wouldn't mind seeing him against Frankie Edgar. That makes some sense. I really want to see Sedner Magomedov. Gregor Gillespie is one of the most annoying and infuriating fighters. Doesn't he have a management? Yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm with you. You know, it's one of those things where I talked about it a lot off the jump, and it's career mismanagement. I seriously doubt that. Come on, hanging out with this guy that I have no remorse. But who's to say they were hanging out? For all we know, it could have been his parent taking him somewhere, you know? Could have been totally innocent. And that's besides the point. He put other people at risk. Again, I don't know. We're on the same page here. I have sympathy for him. I don't want to see him go to jail for life. But at the same time, you can't do those types of things. He could have took someone else's family away from them. And, I mean, I don't really think it's an opinion now. It's an even worse situation. If he was going to do something like this, he should have planned it out more methodically, is my advice to him. You know? I get it, though. I think that his sentencing, I think I said that right. I don't know why I'm having trouble saying that word. I think it should be lenient based on the contributing factors that he was not in the right state of mind and maybe forced to go to therapy afterwards, would be my personal opinion. So I feel like we're on the same page, and you're thinking I'm saying I'm nothing. I'm something I'm not saying. You can't go around shooting willy-nilly and get away with it. What if you'd been driving by, you'd got clipped. Let's say you got shot in the kneecap, and then you could never walk the same again. Would you be saying the same thing? I don't think so. Joey, a fantasy matchup between Robert Whittaker and Khamzat. That'd be very interesting. I'd go Robert Whittaker. He just got lucky that he didn't end up... Yes, because if he would have died, he'd been going to jail for life. Cowboy versus Lozon predictions. I'm going to go Cowboy. But I could see either guy winning. Both guys need to be retired. For sure. Didn't know. You got to go off what happened, not what could have. Yeah, but if you're going off what happened, he recklessly fired shots near innocent bystanders. And that is against the law. And if we're going to have these laws, we should be enforcing them, regardless of the circumstances. But again, I want leniency. So there you go. We're basing it off the facts. Anybody who shoots bullets recklessly, who shoots a firearm recklessly, regardless of the reason, should be put in jail. And maybe that's not a popular opinion. I hope I'm explaining it to you guys the way I feel. But if you are firing a firearm recklessly in life in general, anywhere in the public, you need to be held accountable for it. That's based off the facts. He fired a gun recklessly. He should be punished as such. I agree with Joey on this one. Way too reckless shooting in the middle of the highway. Thank you, big fan. Yeah, it's a shitty situation. It's a shitty situation. I understand it. I have sympathy for it. But at the same time, I think you still gotta look at the law and look at what happened. Who's your favorite fighter personality-wise? Personality-wise, who's my favorite fighter personality-wise? Probably boring answers, but probably like Alexander Volkanovski. I like Khamzat quite a bit. Robbie Lawler. Who else? Yeah, there's a couple answers for you there. Islam and Charles are a very good fight. Those two can finish each other 1,000 different ways. Yeah, it's a super compelling fight. It is a super compelling fight, in my opinion. Cain's bullet could have gone through the window and car and killed someone across the road. Exactly. Who's your least favorite fighter and why? Mine is Alex Moreno right now. Why is yours Alex Moreno? That's a weird name. That is a weird name in general to just pick out of a hat. Least favorite fighter and why? You know what's crazy? I know you guys don't believe me. I don't really have like these fighters that I just absolutely hate. I really didn't like Chris Weidman for a long while. Just because of the way he paraded around after that leg break of Anderson Silva's. But I kind of now have more remorse for him because of what happened to him. I don't like Jeremy Stevens quite a bit. We talked about that earlier on the stream. Just because of what he did to Drakkar Klose. I'm not a fan of that. And I'm sure there's others that I just can't think of. Joe, I'm going off what happened, not what we already been over this. What's up, Fast Man? I hope you're doing well. Agree to disagree on this one. Cain had a good reason as possible to do what he did. Doesn't matter if you have a good reason if you put other people's lives at risk. You know? That's just my thoughts on it. I've went over it a bunch of times. Imagine the scenes. Gon pounds Tuivasa for 24 minutes, then Super Samoan KOs him with the spinning wheel kick, Chris Barnett style. That'd be insanity. That'd be insanity. I'm frustrated with Gregor. Best case scenario, he gets Beneil. Yeah, that's the best case scenario. I don't think he's getting Beneil, though. I don't think Beneil's going to take that fight. Why would he? MMA Joey win collab with Joe Rogan. Never. Far too big. Far too big. Maybe I'll eventually do some collabs with other MMA YouTube channels. I've done one with James Lynch so far. But I'm very particular about who I want to, do a collaboration with. And also another thing that, I've talked about this in the members Discord as well. I don't ever want to feel like I've built my channel off of somebody else. So I'm kind of weird, I don't want to be going on someone else's channel a lot. And like them try to claim, oh, well, he's got a big channel because he came on my channel. I want to earn my subscribers myself. I want to earn my views myself. And if people want to collab, they can message me, and then I'll decide from there. And maybe there'll be people that'll pop up, and you guys will suggest. That's possible. A lot of people suggest a lot of unrealistic possibilities like this one. But we'll see how it goes. The future of the channel is bright. I'm sure when I got 10,000, 20,000 subscribers, more people will hit me up. And maybe those people that'll pop up in between there that I'll be like, oh, I wouldn't mind doing something with them. But as of right now, I don't know. Greg Hardy as a fighter, he doesn't like. Alex Moreno's a nice dude. How can you hate him? Agree with you on that. The celebration after the leg break was pretty gross. Agreed. Alex Moreno seems nice, but has a boring fight style. Well, he just brutalized Cowboy Cerrone in his last fight, didn't he? I think Beneil will be out of the top 5 fast. Could happen too. MMA, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen at all. He's far too big. My channel's far too small. I don't even, he probably doesn't even know my channel exists, honestly. And that's nothing against him. I'm just saying. I don't like Leon Edwards' career management like Gillespie, finishing ability like Chukagian, and personality just boring. He's accepted a lot of fights against great fighters. And those fights have fell out for one reason or another. It's not his fault. So, I don't know, man. But I get what you're saying. But I disagree on some of it. I know we talked about fighter interviews before, but have you thought about interview coaches too? I feel like you'd be a great addition to the channel. I feel like it'd be a great addition to your channel for future content. I don't know, man. I haven't decided. I have a lot of big plans for the future. We'll see how it goes. I don't have any concrete. I'm just always trying to learn and really think about different possibilities for the channel and try to implement certain things and improve myself and think of good videos and think of good titles for those videos and make good thumbnails for those videos and live stream and talk to you guys and answer your questions and just try to grow the channel as much as possible. So we'll see. Last week was weird. All those guru guys showed up talking nonsense. Yeah. He actually does know your channel exists. He talked about it. I swear. What did he say? Fill me in on that. I'd like to know. But I doubt it. I find that hard to believe. Now your chat would get flooded with toxic people. Okay. Edwards wins age like milk. Just Luque is good. Yeah, I get what you're saying. I've talked about Leon Edwards' win streak before. He accepted fights with Hamzat. Hamzat pulled out. He accepted fights with Woodley. Wasn't his fault. He got pulled from the fight. He accepted a fight with Jorge Masvidal. Masvidal pulls out and then fights not that long later. Leon Edwards has gotten theoretically ducked. He accepted a fight with Colby Covington. Colby Covington didn't want the fight. It's not really his fault. And that's why I have sympathy for him. You've seen in the future Cowboy in Lausanne got rescheduled. Yeah, it's on June 18th. It's on the Texas card, Fight Night card. I know, and they never talked about MMA. Yeah. Haven't fought yet. I know. Can Nunes versus Pena 2 be the biggest female fight and the biggest female fight in UFC history? And can Nunes versus Pena 2 be the biggest female fight in UFC history, or is it still Rousey home? I do not believe this will be the biggest fight in UFC, women's fight in female history. I believe it will still be Rousey. Rousey was selling like 1 million pay-per-view buys. To be fair, Leon was going to beat Bilal. Yes, he was going to beat Bilal as well. I forgot about that. Thank you, French fries, for reminding me. Collapse with Jesse on Fire. That dude is funny. Yeah, but he doesn't really talk about MMA, and he's from what I've seen, and I'm not trying to like insult or anything, but it's more or less like the drama going on with MMA. That's not really me or my thing. And plus, again, guys, you're asking me collab with these guys that have 30,000, 60,000 subscribers. I got 3,000 subscribers, guys. You got to be realistic here. A lot of people mentioned your name in his chat and asked if he knows who you are, and he said, yeah. Well, next time you got to send it to me. I got to see this for myself. I just find it hard to believe. I find it hard to believe. But next time, send it to me and let me know. I'll go check it out. Usman versus Edwards for the worst hairline. Okay. Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. I'm trying to think who has the worst hairline. Isn't there a ref with a terrible hairline that I can't remember right now? I don't know. Bilal and Leon could be a potential. Stop it. Bilal's not fighting for a title. I'm telling you that right now. Is a weirdo? Okay, fair enough. I haven't seen enough to make that determination for myself. Yeah, isn't this a huge MMA channel too? It's just not going to happen, guys. So you'll have to tell these guys to collab with me. If you want to see them collab with me, you have to tell them. I'm not going to go out of my way. I'm not, as a small channel, going to go message these guys and try to build my followings off of other people, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense to you guys. It's not one of those things where I have anything against some of these guys or anything like that. But one, I don't think they're going to do it. Two, I don't necessarily would want to do it because I'm very particular about who I would do certain things with on my channel or on their channel. And then also, I never want to feel like I ever built my channel off of somebody else's name. So I hope that makes sense. Yeah, but there aren't a lot of good MMA channels, though you are one of the good ones. I appreciate you, Patty Mills. In the future, anybody in this stream, if you guys ever see another MMA channel and they discuss me or in any way, even if it's like 30 seconds long, I'm always curious if there is other MMA channels that know who my channel are. I know there is a few that I know for a fact. What's his name? Vlad. I know, obviously James Lynch. We did a live chat together before about a month and a half ago, maybe. So it's definitely possible, but for me, it's still hard to wrap my head around that anybody with a large following on MMA YouTube knows of my channel. It's still hard for me to wrap my head around that. So if you see anything good or bad, let me know. Send me a link to it. Because somebody in the past said, that they saw, I forgot who they said they saw talking about me and in a video, and they mentioned me in a video. And I wanted to see it, but they never sent it. So you'll have to let me know. Damon Jackson, worst hairline in MMA history. Yes. It's super funny. He makes sense, but it's exaggeration. Topuria versus Barboza is happening. I feel so bad for Edson. Depends. If it's at featherweight, I feel bad for Edson. If it's at lightweight, I think Edson can win that fight. What do you think about Pavlovich versus Lewis? Crazy that he lost to Overeem. I think it makes sense. I'll go. I don't know who I'm going to pick in that fight. It's hard to doubt Lewis's power, but I don't think Lewis is all that great. So I'll go Pavlovich right now, but I might change my mind when we get to it, honestly. We will see. Guys, if you have not already, run up the likes on the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. We have almost 40 people in the stream, and we have 17 likes. If you're watching the channel for the first time and you're not subscribed, I would appreciate it if you went and subscribed right this very second. We're trying to creep our way to 4,000 subscribers. The subscriber count has been going up very, very fast as of late, so I would appreciate if you subscribe to the channel. Also, if you want to support the channel, you can become a member. The link is down in the description. I can also post it in the chat for you. If you want to become a member, you get access to extra replays of live streams. You get a badge, a loyalty badge next to your name. You get custom emojis to use in the streams as well as the comments. And you also get access to the members only Discord, which we're in there every single day. You can message me. I let you know when I'm doing random streams. I let you know what videos I'm working on. You can request videos. You can, the Discord is worth it alone. It's $3 a month. You can cancel at any time. I put the link in the chat, but it's also in the description if you want to become a member. I would greatly appreciate it. We're trying to grow the membership. Okay, let's continue. Now I got to figure out where I was at. Honest question. Do you think Dana is putting off the Islam title shot because he's afraid if Islam wins, he will have a long reign and not a huge draw? Fights are boring. Same with Leon. No, I do not agree with that. I think Islam will be very popular even though he does have a boring fight style. And I don't think his fight style is all that boring. But I'm just saying, based off of your statement, people thinking it's boring, I think that Dana's looking at Islam as like, okay, we can replace Khabib with him. Maybe Jorge thinks he's the big star. He only wants to headline pay-per-view events. That's why he doesn't want to fight Burns, Luque, Edwards, because they don't sell. I think he fights Diaz or McGregor or Colby. Okay. I think you could be right. Would you ever try to get a media pass to interview fighters in person? Yeah, but I don't think that's really plausible either. I would love to. I just, right now, you guys got to realize it's still very early on. It's still very, very early on. As far as my MMA YouTube channel, I guess you would say. So, have you seen Guru's Apex ruining the UFC video? He made good points. No, I have not. But we've actually talked about that before, that maybe the UFC doesn't stack the cards as much as they want to, or as we want to, because they don't have to sell tickets. So I'm assuming that's what you're talking about, maybe. Maybe something else, ruining the UFC. The Guru's Apex video, ruining the UFC video. Yeah, I'm assuming that's what it is. I don't see what other reason. I hate the small cage, though. So if you're talking about that, I 100% agree. Jesse on Fire is the embodiment of the brand Affliction. Okay. Okay. Neil Magny has the worst hairline. I don't know if it's that bad. I don't remember it being that bad. Start your streams when no other big streamers are streaming. Most people watch the Guru, etc. will watch other streamers in the meantime. We'll see. I'm not ever going to, cater my streams around other MMA creators. But I appreciate the advice. I do this Wednesday every 6 p.m. Every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern. And I do other random streams just when I have free time. So I believe, 100% that if you put out good content, the people will come regardless. And it has worked so far for me in 13 months. In 13 months, we're almost 3,300 subscribers. So for me, I think we've done pretty well. And I'm going to continue to try to improve and grow and learn. So, and their name starts with a J. What do you mean? What is that about, Shrimp? Thank you for being a member, Shrimp, by the way. I appreciate you. Do you remember how Luke Rockhold take down a real bull and ragdoll it? Yeah, sure. Hey, Joey, first time ever in a live chat. Great stream, brother. Just wanted you to know how you rate it. Chandler's post-fight Octagon interview call-outs after Ferguson. Prob my favorite. Craig, long-time watcher, first time in the stream. Thank you, Craig. Always appreciate all your kind comments. You're always rewatching the live chats and the live stream. I'm glad you decided to stop by. I think Chandler did a great job. And, a lot of people don't think that call-outs matter, but they do. The only thing that I could have recommended for him, but I get it, he just wanted to lay out all the names. I think he should have just picked one, a.k.a. Connor, and stuck to it. Because now the story's, Chandler calls out you know, this guy, that guy, this guy. Whereas before, if he would have just called out Conor, that would have been the headline. So I thought it was a good call out. I thought it was exciting. I thought obviously he planned it out in advance, but I think less would have been more. But it was fun for sure. It was entertaining as those fans, you know, as entertaining as a post-fight interview could be. Thank you again, Craig, for being a supporter of the channel, man. I really do appreciate it. I know I talked to you in the comments quite a bit. Glad to see you in a live stream. I do these every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, you're on point with the card stacking in the small cage. Yeah, I hate the small cage. I've been saying that for a long time. How'd you learn how to do all this YouTube stuff? I would like to start the channel, but I'm computer challenged. And what made you start doing this? Watching YouTube videos is how I learned how to do it. It is one of those things where you kind of just got to learn and evolve. And it's one of those things where I just kept trying to make videos and stuff. And I've been wanting to make a YouTube channel since about 2012, 2013. I just never had the guts to do it. And I finally did it. And it's been working out it's worked out more than I could have ever imagined. So for some reason, I went back. I'm on StreamYard, big fan. I'm on StreamYard here. And for some reason, your membership thing didn't pop up on StreamYard, but I just found it in the chat. I found it in the YouTube chat, which I have open as well. I'm not looking at that. I'm looking at StreamYard, but I went and clicked on that tab. Some YouTubers are okay with groomers, okay? Thank you for the 8 months of membership. I'm not sure what the message is about, but I think if they are, that's pretty disturbing and very, very weird. And I made a video borderline touching on that, but I'm definitely not okay with that. Don't forget about that Islam is a Muslim. For example, many young people in Germany where I live bought pay-per-view just for Khabib fights. Yeah, I think that's very possible. Okay, I already answered this. If you don't mind me asking, what's your job outside of this, like a primary source of income? I work for a construction company. Joey, you missed my membership. Yeah, I saw this message when I was reading the other questions, and I went back to the actual YouTube tab and looked at the live chat. For some reason, it didn't come through on StreamYard. I don't know why it didn't come through on StreamYard. It should have, but it didn't. I appreciate your 8 months of membership. I appreciate your support. Let's actually go look at the poll. I have to go back to the tab. 88% say yes. Make the Khamzat Leon video. So I will. I will make that video. We're almost an hour into the stream already. That is absolute insanity to me. Almost an hour into the stream. Let's see what we got here. Let's see. Okay. Guys, keep filling the chat with questions. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the stream. Okay. So, yeah, I'll probably make that Khamzat Leon Edwards video tonight. We'll see. Every video that has been, you know, almost every single video I've posted recently on the channel have done amazing. The channel's growing really, really solid. Again, let me just pull this up. I've been talking with you guys. I always give you guys updates on how the channel's doing. We're almost at 3,300 subscribers. Last few videos, okay? Almost 4,000 views. Video before that, 2,600 views. 2 videos before that, 1,100 views. Video before that, almost 4,000 views. Video before that, over 3,000 views. Video before that, 6,500 views, 6,500 views. Video before that, 4,000. Video before that, almost 1,000. Video before that, 4,500 almost. Video before that, 1,000. 2 videos before that, 6,000. It goes on and on for the last month or so. For the last month or so, almost every video that I've been posting has been getting thousands of views, which I don't know how much you guys are in tune to YouTube, but for my subscriber count to be getting those types of views is better than some channels that might have 50,000 views, 50,000 subscribers. You know, there's some people with 40, 50,000 subscribers getting like 4,000 or 5,000 views. And I have 3,000 subscribers and I'm getting those types of numbers. I think my average number now is like between 2,000 and 5,000 views per video. I will probably make my MMA YouTube video soon. It will be in Arabic, I think next year. Hey man, the hardest part of anything is starting it. I've told somebody else who asked me about making their own YouTube channel. One of my favorite cheesy quotes to say. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is today. So now's the day to start, man. Anytime. Anytime. Just do it. The only thing's holding you back is you. Anybody can start a YouTube channel. And it's a lot of fun. We built an amazing community here. That's my favorite thing about this channel. And I think, and I talk about this in the members Discord all the time. I think something that gives me freedom in my channel is, one, there's nothing that anybody can say to me to hurt my feelings. Because if you start a YouTube channel, believe me, you're going to get a lot of people that talk a lot of crap to you in the live chats and the comments. I don't care what anyone really has to say to me negatively, barring actual constructive criticism. So I don't get bothered by that. And on top of that, I'm not starting this as something that I have to make a lot of money off of. I'm doing this because I enjoy discussing MMA, and that's it. And I love talking about things that other people aren't talking about. And I just love giving you guys, interesting takes. I've been watching the UFC for now, 12 years? And, there's a lot that you know after watching the organization. And I feel like a lot of things I can predict, like the UFC is going to do this next. Dana White really means this. There's a lot of things that I've called before. And I think it's helped me out a lot with the YouTube channel. And it's also just the fact that I don't have to sit here and try to spam hot topics to get views. I can talk about what you guys want to hear about. I can talk about what I want to discuss. And I have the freedom to do whatever I want, because I don't care if, all the tens of thousands of Sean O'Malley's cult-like following dislike one of my videos. Doesn't matter to me. I'm going to talk about and give my honest opinion regardless, with as little bias as possible. So, good luck. Thank you for the nice words, Joey. I've been meaning it for a while now. You deserve all the support. I know what you're saying, but I liked how he showed how game he is to fight anyone. Add it to it for me. I see what you mean. I wouldn't mind seeing him against Dustin Poirier next, to be honest. I know he's kind of said, but I wouldn't mind seeing that fight either. Where do you live? Baltimore, Maryland. Joey been rocking lately. Those analytics, though, I know, man. It's crazy. The channel's growing. It would not shock me if out of nowhere, next thing you know, we're at 10,000 subscribers. I'm not counting on that, but it wouldn't shock me. Why is everyone saying Islam doesn't deserve a title shot? Where were these people when Chandler got a title shot after beating Hooker? I don't know, man. It is what it is. Islam is the most deserving. That's my take. What's your funniest MMA-related moment or reference outside of the cage? Mine has to be John Jones running from his home with a 12-gauge shotgun in his hand. I never saw that. Funniest MMA-related moment or reference outside of the octagon. Mine has to be John Jones running. I don't know, man. I don't know. That's a tough question. Joe, do you think Michael Chandler's going to get a Conor fight or a rematch with Charles for the lightweight title? A rematch? Oh, no. Michael Chandler's not rematching Charles yet. He may get the Conor fight. I think if I had to guess, I think we get Chandler versus Dustin. Somehow I have a feeling that's going to happen. Mark my words on that, because Michael Chandler has kind of brushed that off a little bit. I think that could be happening. And you only get better making videos by actually grinding and making videos. Trial and error is the best teacher. Yes. I mean, I've gotten better. Just in the last 2 months, I've gotten so much better at making videos. It feels awkward getting in front of a camera, but after a while, you're just like, well, it is what it is. Joe, do you think Michael Chandler's going to get a... Okay, I already read that. If he fights Charles. He's not fighting Charles. I think best case scenario, he fights Conor. I would not be surprised if he fights Dustin next. The difference between a beginner is the master, and the master is the master has failed more times than the beginner has tried. Agreed. I think your opinions are good. I believe it is what you really believe. I think it's giving you more credibility. And also, I hope you guys believe this, but, it is what it is if you don't. When I'm making picks and I'm giving you guys opinions, it's not based on who I like or dislike. So, I hope that comes across. Ilia Topuria versus Edson Barboza in France. Pure violence. Yeah, I'm really excited for that matchup. Topuria has really fast hands and nasty knockout power. Do you know Wesley Tooth? He's from Maryland. He's in Ohio now. A good friend of mine. Absolutely not. Nope. I don't think so. So, sorry about that. He's from Baltimore. Yeah, I don't know. Baltimore's a big place. Connor saying, Get that off the telly now, okay? Damn, you made me feel young. You've been watching MMA since I was 5. That's crazy. That is crazy, crazy, crazy. I just want to understand people's logic. Not a single person has an issue with Yuri getting a title shot after 2 wins. Level of competition is their argument. But it doesn't matter because Islam has tried to fight top-level competition. Can you see Chandler going to 45? No. Chandler's not going to 45. He's too big. You just came now. I don't know if you talked about... Oh, you just started. You came to the live stream now. But, I think it's a great idea. It would get me back watching The Ultimate Fighter. But I doubt it happens, to be honest. Because the UFC, to get these coaches, have to pay them. Any updates on Paddy and Chimaev? Not that I've heard of, but I'm going to make a video talking about Chimaev's next fight. If Ilya versus Edson is at featherweight, what way would Ilya win? I'd say KO. Which card looks better, Paris or London? I have to look at both of those. I think the Paris card right now, I would probably say. But I have to look at both of them. I have to look them both up. And there's some fights that are targeted that aren't necessarily official. Islam has 2 ranked wins, so does Yuri. I get what you're saying. I'm with you, man. I'm with you. But I'm just saying that's their level of logic behind it. They think that he hasn't beat the best of opponents. And that's the reason why that they that he doesn't deserve a shot. But my question is, if he doesn't deserve the shot, who deserves the shot? What's next for Bryce Mitchell, in your opinion? Bryce Mitchell, I would like to see him against Giga Chikadze or Arnold Allen or Brian Ortega. Brian Ortega has a fight with Yair. Calvin Kattar has a fight with Josh Emmett. So Bryce Mitchell, Giga Chikadze, Bryce Mitchell, Arnold Allen is probably the 2 that I would make. I got a feeling that Paddy just wants money and to have fun, not to be champion. Well, good, because I think that's the most likely scenario. You could say the same thing between Leon and Islam, but no one seems to care if Leon gets a shot. I think there's a lot of people crying about that too. But I get what you're saying. They're in very similar scenarios. Chandler only beat Dan Hooker. He gets a title shot. Yeah. Exactly. It was the way the division stacked up at the time. And also, not that I'm trying to sit here and defend Chandler. I think you can take into an account people's resumes in another organization. Michael Chandler had a long career in Bellator. Former champion, came in off a big win over Benson Henderson, knocked him out. So I think you can take that into account as well. Thoughts on Topuria versus Barboza being in the works? It's a savage matchup. I can't wait. Arnold Allen is no joke even. Okay. Paddy versus Ottoman Azaitar. Winner, I'd probably go Ottoman Azaitar. He's too good, but he's been out for a while. TKZ versus Bryce. Stop it. Stop it. No. Made people want Leon to get a title shot. Who gets a title shot is about the money they bring in. Partially. I hope that's not always true. Well, to be fair, Chandler only got a title shot because Poirier decided to fight Conor. Another true fact. It was just the circumstances of the lightweight division at the time. Song Yudong just called Chito Vera on Twitter. He beat him before on short notice. I'd love to see that fight again. Who's most likely to get another title shot, Poirier or Gaethje? I'll say Poirier. It seems the world is literally crying for Islam to get a title shot. They tried to rebook Benny. He's hurt. He needs to get a title shot then. It's the most compelling matchup in the lightweight division they can make. Oliveira versus Islam. I say give Islam the title shot. Joe, do you think Paddy can headline a fight night in England and fight someone like Arnold Allen? No. They're not even in the same division. Paddy's not beaten anyone yet. And Paddy would get wrecked by Arnold Allen even at, if Arnold Allen came up to whoop his ass. But as far as popularity, if Paddy can continue to win, yes, he could headline a fight night if he can continue to win. But that is a massive if, depending on who the UFC matches him up with. I think one time Paddy weight cut will fail and he will be stuck at welterweight. I hope not. I hope they announce his fight with Otman Azaitar soon. I hope that does come to fruition. Those fights aren't 100% official. So it's hard to say if they're actually going to happen. So We will see. We will see. I think one time, Patty, okay, I already read that. Joey, do you think the trilogy should be the main event for 276? No. But for me, it's a more compelling fight. So I hope that answers your question. I'm usually in favor of doing the heavier weight class above. You know, kind of just makes sense. I know why Chandler got a shot. I'm asking why fans didn't have an issue with it, to whoever answered. I see what you're saying. Well, for me, because there was nobody else at the time who he was skipping over, and also his distinguished Bellator career. If Khabib wouldn't have retired, would he still be champion as of today? Yes. Probably. Leon versus Kamaru in the works. In the works for August. Yeah, that's just a rumor right now. It might not happen. It might not happen. Why would UFC book Patty with Ottman? That's a very dangerous fight for him. I don't know. Maybe they're tired of Patty complaining about pay, and it's a spiteful matchmaking. After thinking about it, Joey would have been. You're right, Joey. It would be more intense if he just concentrated on Conor and would have had the chance of it being made. What's your best and worst thing about doing this channel? Okay, let me think. Yes, I think it would have been better for him to focus. Obviously, I already made that opinion. But I think he would have been more likely if he would have called out Conor and just really honed in on it, you know, for that 30 seconds he was able to talk. As far as the best and worst thing about doing my channel, the time that it takes, there's a lot of nights that I stay up really late and then I have a massive headache the next day because I'm making videos, rendering videos. It takes a lot. It takes a lot more than you would think. I would say, if I had to put a guess on it, this is just purely a guess. I spend 80% of my free time on the channel, making videos, coming up with titles, thumbnails, brainstorming ideas, recording, rendering, editing, uploading. Probably 80% of my free time on the channel, if not more. June 25th, going to be great. I hope you're right. Joey, you get your hot dog brander yet? No, I have not gotten it yet. When your channel blows up, you become famous. Are you going to forget about all your day ones and not read your comments? I'm going to do my best not to. I'm going to do my best to do what I do now, but it's not going to always be possible. But luckily, I will always look out for, there's people who are members, their name lights up in green and they have a loyalty badge next to their name, and I'll always try to respond to them. And eventually I'm going to add another tier on my membership benefits, maybe like a $5 tier, and then I'm going to do members only streams. So where only the members can come in. I don't understand why everyone thought Poirier was so deserving of a title shot. He wasn't even a favorite. He was even a favorite over Oliveira because he beat up a hyped up Conor McGregor. I don't necessarily agree with it. I picked him to lose to Poirier, but it's because Poirier lost to Khabib and then had a 2-fight win streak of Dan Hooker and McGregor ×2. Why does that warrant a title shot? I mean, it was probably most deserving of anyone else. Damn, Joe, you're right. I think it could have been a spiteful poke. Yeah, because Patty's been outspoken about a fighter pay. Sup, Joey? What's up, Baz? Can you believe Colby versus Masvidal did less than 400K buys? I can believe it, but I don't know, man. I have no idea. The amount of numbers that get circulated around online, you know, the amount of numbers that get speculated online that aren't even real. It's one of those things. The best thing about the channel, 100% unequivocally, the best thing about the channel is having a great MMA community that we've built here in the live chats, in the comments, in the post-fight live streams, in the videos, that we can, in the Discord, on Twitter, that we can discuss MMA in a respectful, fun fashion, and we can all give our opinions without screaming out casual at each other all the time. I hate that. I hate that. And we can include everyone. You know, I've talked about this plenty of times, and I think it's a thing that's helped me quite a bit. There is so many MMA fans that are so quick to push aside new fans and say, I liked it first. And you're a casual because you asked a question that you should already know. I like to include those people. You don't know how many people watch this channel who have told me they just became a fan in the last year or two, or become a hardcore fan in the last 6 months. So my favorite thing about it, short answer, is the community that we've built here to discuss MMA. How about Gaethje 1-fight win streak? Yeah, but he had just been interim champion too. It was a little bit of a weird situation. Joey, do you think Jorge Tony can headline a pay-per-view? I don't think it should, but it probably could. Joey, do you think MVP can beat Wonderboy? Maybe. Props on putting all that work in as well. You deserve your subscribers and much more. Thank you, Craig. I appreciate it. I don't believe any of the numbers posted. Curtis Blades debunked his pay on one of those posts on Instagram. It still worries me that pay-per-views seem to be doing very badly lately. I wouldn't worry about it too much. Who knows? I don't think Masvidal is much of a draw as people thought. Colby never really was. I thought I was highly critical of that as a main event. So I hope it did low numbers, honestly, because I was highly critical of it. It shouldn't have been a main event. How you feel about the dude calling you a casual in your comments for disagreeing with his pick? To be honest, it doesn't offend me. I just find it annoying that people constantly... It's just stupid. It's a stupid insult. Just because someone doesn't know as much as you or you think you're smarter than them, you got to call them a casual. It's just a lazy insult. Come up with something better. The guy's an idiot, clearly. It seems like not one has done over 500K buys this year. Yeah, according to the numbers that have come out. Sorry, but casuals are better for UFC. UFC 275, there shouldn't be 2 women's fights on the main card. I love Weili Zhang versus Joanna Jędrzejczyk 2. And you got to have the title fight on the main card. Joe, if you had to predict Colby's next fight, who would it be? Same with Conor. If I had to predict Colby's next fight. So first off, I'll pick Conor's next fight. I think Conor's next fight will be Tony Ferguson or Nate Diaz. As far as Colby's next fight, I think Colby will either fight Khamzat Chimaev or Dustin Poirier, or he'll sit out for a while and end up fighting, I don't know, maybe a winner of Luque versus Jeff Neal or something like that. I don't know. My guess is he should fight Khamzat. I think if he doesn't fight Khamzat, maybe he takes the Dustin Poirier fight. I think the UFC would make it. Dustin Poirier opened the door for it recently. And if he doesn't take those fights, I don't know what he takes. Maybe he sits around and waits for something, else. Do you want to see Tony versus Conor for Conor comeback fight? I wouldn't mind that. I think Tony should get a big fight like that. Joey, our mans gets smoked by Gamrot. People are hyping him up from a loss to Islam. Let's go Polish power. I think that fight could go either way. I'm 50-50. If Charles O beats Islam, does Khabib come out of retirement and fight Charles? No, I do not believe he does. They should sell the women's division to Invicta. How come people only want to talk about Usman not being a draw but no one else? I don't know, because they don't like Usman. I think Colby tries to get a fight with Bilal. That's a winnable fight for Colby, so maybe you're right. Heard a rumor they are targeting Dan Hooker for Conor's return. Yeah, that's just a rumor. That's not even remotely close to reality. I don't think Colby ever fights Khamzat. He will sit out, then fight Dustin. Yeah, Colby's been notorious for being inactive. Colby Covington will wait till they find someone for Khamzat, in my opinion. You're probably right. All right, guys, if you have any last-minute questions, throw them in the chat. We're almost up on an hour and 20 minutes for the live chat. We've talked about so many different things. I'll probably be doing a stream for Eagle FC on Friday, if you care to join me then. And I'm probably going to post a video in a little bit. But throw any last-minute questions in the chat. Don't forget to like the stream, share the stream. If you want to talk to me on Discord, become a member of the channel. The link is in the description. We got a great community in the Discord. We're discussing MMA every single day, all the latest news in there. So you can become a member by going to the link in the description. It costs $3. It costs $3. Okay, let's see these last few questions. If you have any more questions, post them in the chat right now. We're getting ready to end the stream. Tony versus Conor makes sense, but I think Conor will go ahead with Dan Hooker. Bilal versus Brady, who you picking? I'll take Bilal. I don't trust Brady's cardio, but I could switch my mind on that one. Is Ryan Spann the Francis Ngannou of the light heavyweight division? No. I get Usman's a dominant champ, and I am picking him to beat Leon, but he's just not likable in any way. I would agree, other than I really like watching him fight. Colby cherry picks older strikers with losing streaks. Connor is impressed with Dan's 3-minute fight versus Islam. Okay. I feel like Colby will be more active when he's no longer in the top 5. Could very well be. Who knows? Okay, guys. I think that does it for the stream. I greatly appreciate all you guys joining me for the stream. If you missed the stream and you're watching the replay, comment down below if you got any questions. I'll talk to you in the comments. Thank you guys all for joining me. Be on the lookout for a new video tonight. I'm going to record it probably here after I end this stream. And enjoy the rest of your guys' night. And join me on Friday for my Eagle FC stream. I will talk to you guys. Hold on, let me end this here. I will talk to you guys later. And I think that does it. Wait, why is Usman likable? Why isn't Usman likable? I don't know. He's got a cringy personality, but I still love watching him fight. Okay, guys. Thank you for joining me. Talk to you guys later. Enjoy the rest of your